Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIADMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met a from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, literally I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sun, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? You know that state of gold with the bed, but they don't compare. Now I've been in New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIADMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
California, cause there's no place like California.
Fresh off a flight to Boston, got a BZ in Maryland that I pipe too often. Headed right to Austin, most likely flossing. Tight, exhausted, high as a forklift. Handful of goons out in Colorado. Any given afternoon, you can catch a hollow. Honestly, it's the same out in Richmond, Virginia or California. Either state, you can get it. I done seen everywhere from Russia to Delaware. Trust me, I'm well aware. Barcelona to Bel Air, Petty to the Detroit. Don't tell him he saw how heavily he balls. Every project, every seashore. And I ain't content trying to see more nomadic. I probably wind up alone. All it takes is a melody to remind me of home. Now I've been in New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIADMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here. between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him a couple on the catch, it's 2nd and 8. Here's the offense, certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Now Wilson, forced out to his left. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
To throw is Wilson. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And now it's 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got Kearse. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
There goes Thomas Rawls. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 37 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. But he will not be able to bring this one back in the extra point attempt. Unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa. Bad move. Surveying the field, eluding the pressure right, and incomplete to open things up. Oh, there's one you don't see often, the illegal forward pass.
And the reason we don't see it very often is the quarterback has to be totally beyond the line of scrimmage for the flag to come out. If any part of the quarterback is behind the line of scrimmage when he throws the ball, then it's not an illegal forward pass.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And he's brought down after a good gain. A nice gain at 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
For Bell, a Steelers postseason record, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns in the wild card round. And, you know, he just showed such patience waiting for his blockers.
I think it works very well for him that these blockers have been blocking for Big Ben for a number of years. Because you know what they say about him. It's not the first 3 seconds of a pass play. It's the next 3 when he shakes someone off and creates. So they're used to holding blocks and doing something extra. They do the exact same thing for Le'Veon Bell because they know the results can be excellent.
Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On third down, Roethlisberger finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. Once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. While the time permits, let's look back at the AFC wildcard round. Top performers. I know you have to look at Pittsburgh and what Brown and Bell did on offense. They were spectacular.
Yeah, let's start with the offense because I thought Antonio Brown got them off to an amazing start. 2 touchdowns, long ones.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse. 66 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now let's shift our attention back to the Pittsburgh offense. They had, as we mentioned earlier, Roethlisberger, Bell, Brown all out there for the playoff win. Those guys had all had a week off, and they had mentioned, you heard this during the broadcast, they were already preparing for Miami before they knew that was definitely the opponent. When you have that luxury of knowing you're locked into your spot in the playoffs, you can do that sort of thing. As you mentioned, they rested their big guy. The Browns, they worked against them, but they also started to look ahead and added in periods or used certain periods to prepare for the Dolphins and maybe another opponent they thought they might get. That's just good planning by Mike Tomlin, the head coach. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments.
but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Wilson. Steps away to his left. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. In the slot on the right is Graham. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Complete. Richardson has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll come out in the pistol. They come out here in the I. First down, this is Rawls. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
All right, when you think of the Seattle Seahawks, partner, especially on offense, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, what's the second thing that comes to mind?
Russell Wilson.
Okay, I'm going to get you off of Russell Wilson. How about how they run the football?
Yeah.
And they got it back against the Lions in the playoffs when Thomas Rawls went for 161 yards, which is a franchise record in a playoff game. If they have that going, they're going to be very dangerous throughout the playoff run.
Well, and what's interesting, last 3 regular season games, a total of 37 carries for 56 yards, and then that explosion. Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. The ball comes out, and the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So no problems there with that one as they're able to put 3 up on the board.
Yeah, it's pretty much a winless night. There's only a very light breeze, so it's a perfect night for kickers. And like you said, no problems with that one.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Partner, before the game, we were discussing Aaron Rodgers having Green Bay in the win column for 7 straight games so hot, and I think you have to look at him and Cobb as 2 of the top performers from Wild Card Weekend.
I would agree totally. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. The Hail Mary to Randall Cobb right before the half against the Giants. That really elevated their performance. And Randall Cobb had 5 catches, 116 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Excited to be back on the field after a Week 15 injury. But how about Seattle? Bully ball was back in effect. Thomas Rawls at tailback, over 160 yards on the ground. He more than set a tone for the Seahawks.
Yeah, those guys shined in the NFC. A good pickup there, 26 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Another run, but this time it's Rawls. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 87 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. A strong running. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Steelers set to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And some room to maneuver. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll go again with Bell. And not a whole lot doing. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. As we head toward halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm, You see a little more bounce in and out of the...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tanner McAvoy, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. Ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run. Hey, when the playoffs begin, you always find out who's ready to go and who's ready to elevate their game and who the superstars are. And Antonio Brown fits that description big time. How about it? 2 of his first 3 catches, long-distance touchdowns against Miami. He was ready to go.
And remember, he's a Miami kid. He's born down there, but now fully adjusted to the cold temperatures.
Fully adjusted and truly one of the best receivers in the game.
Brown, the lone receiver left. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Over the middle, here to Coates. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And that'll bring up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground. It didn't go in the other direction.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger being chased out left. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. It's a gain of 14 there, and the Seahawks are going to have a 1st down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hit 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
In the slot on the right is Graham. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Wilson. Charles, as we look back at the wild card round of the playoffs, flipping on the TV, seeing the cold weather in both Pittsburgh and Green Bay, that just felt right this time of year, didn't it?
It felt right for them. It didn't feel right for me. You know what I did? I actually went and put another set of gloves on, a big overcoat, and then a blanket as I watched them play.
But we got a game at Kansas City this upcoming weekend and at New England. Temperatures both places supposed to be cold. Kansas City expecting a wintry mix. It could be interesting.
Very much so. We're going to find out who can handle the elements as well as the opposition.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So they're operating in the red zone.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Play clock winding down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Pete Carroll, no stranger to rolling the dice. He'll roll it again. 4th down, they're going for it. They'll run for it. Rolls. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, remember, they could get the first down without getting the touchdown. And he's able to fight all the way down to the 2-yard line. So it's a big conversion there on 4th down. And now they'll get 4 more shots from there.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Time running out here on the play clock. From the gun, it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Now Hausch can attack on the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught outright by Graham. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Mike Bennett in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. Back now in Pittsburgh, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Roethlisberger under pressure. They got him again. Cliff Averill in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now it's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Another pistol look here. Now Roethlisberger to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell taking it in. And the Steelers are able to get a score back.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 19 yards there. And it's good enough for a Seattle first. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. The 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Wilson turns and gives to Procise. And he is going to lose yardage here. My goodness, it'll be a disastrous loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He sets to fire deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.